What you're all feeling, having heard all that, let me absolutely recap what we just said there, alright? Let me absolutely recap. What we said there was on the 3rd of August, the police knew Kevin Hutchinson Foster, and I'm going to tell you something they didn't tell you before. Court cases happened and they didn't tell you. Kevin Hutchinson Foster was previously charged, arrested and charged with gun supply. And he got off. Alright? And normally when someone's arrested for something and there's a similar offence, they bring it up in court, but they don't mention this in court. And I'll tell you why they don't mention it in court, because this is probably when they get hold of this brother, yes sir. Alright? He's previously arrested and charged with gun supply. In our community, let me tell you something. You get arrested with gun supply, if you get off, the first thing a man says to you, brother, you got a passport, take a holiday. Well, if you get off, most people will say he's an informer. Right? But if they don't believe that, they're going to tell you to take a holiday, then they're going to tell you, even if you spit on the floor, that man is going to be all over you. All over you. And here we have him, 3 guns. They know they don't go for him. He's on parole. Right? Again, in our community, we'll tell you, right? You don't need no evidence to say the man is on parole back to prison.
On parole, payroll.
You just need that allegation. Right? On August the 3rd, SOCA, that's the Serious and Organised Crime Agency, Trident, that's the preeminent murder squad in England, because the Met is supposed to be the preeminent force, and Trident was their gold star. There was years when Trident said our clear-up rate is 140%. 140%, you know. When we said that now you can be 140%, they said, man, we cleared up some from last year. But last year they told us it was almost 100%. It can only be 100%, 140% if you have put a gun out there and taken out. Man, that's the only way they can get those statistics. But here it is. We found out about the letter in December. And by the end of March, Trident closed down. And when Trident closed down, in the newspaper, the Evening Standard, it said, Trident officers shocked that Trident is closing down, which says there was never any discussion. There was never any debate. They know that we're coming, and they closed it down. Because they're what? They were the gold standard. They were the gold standard. The justification was, you know what? Not enough black people are killing black people anymore. Well, actually, not enough black people were shooting black people at that time, because they couldn't go out the guns, because they're man gone. The truth is, if they wanted to carry on doing the work they were doing, if they was delivering a service, they would have said, all right, we'll deal with black-on-black knife crime, because that's pretty spectacular. But instead they said, dump us, we'll go to the generic murder squad. That's not even a murder squad, that's murder and serious homicide. Dump us, and we will start calling ourselves gangbusters, and we'll go on estates, and we'll give 14 and 15 and 16-year-old kids Asbos. These guys were the super cops, you know that? And now they're gangbusters, and they ain't getting after the big gang man then. And when they were Trident, and when they did take out man, they told you that these were the top gang man. So now they're working on giving kids Asbos. They've closed down Trident. And I say it's because we are close to proving that they were putting guns into our community. And don't think it's far-fetched. Jasper's supposed to be here today, but he's not. Because he was supposed to be here to help me to tell you the story of Denton, the yardie, that the Met sent from Kingston, Jamaica, bad boy, murder and rapist. Right? They brought him and they put him into Brixton. Yes. And what he did, the crimes he committed, the rapes and the murders, but not just the rapes and the murders that he commits. When someone is behaving in your community with impunity and immunity, then other people start to behave like that, right? So they put some germs in our community and infect up the community. And that's what they're doing down here. And we come close to catching them, and they're running and hiding. So today, we say they can run, but they can't hide. And we're going to chase them down wherever this takes us. We respect... the judicial process, and we wait on the outcome of the judicial review, but with the greatest respect in the world we say, it doesn't matter. One way or t'other, we demand answers from Hogan, how? Because this letter was reported directly to him. We demand answers from him. We want to know why someone hasn't been charged. And the fact that you can't charge someone means that we want that letter to be the focus of a public inquiry. And furthermore,
our legal team was not allowed to investigate that letter, was it?
That's what I'm saying. We've been denied an opportunity to look at this letter in the full public glare. But furthermore, we demand an inquiry into Kevin Hutchinson Foster and his relationship with the police. Now let's be clear. On the 3rd of August, they know the guy's got 3 guns, man. The 3rd of August. These people carry out hundreds of thousands of stop and search of our young people, allegedly for weapons that they never find. 0.10% they find out of all of those stop and searches. Out of all of those hard stops that they performed on Mark Duggan, 0.34% do they ever come up with a weapon. The stop and searches, they don't. The section 60, looking for people with weapons, they don't come up with anybody. And someone tells you, Soccer tells you, this guy's got 2 guns.
3?
Well, they've killed for 1. He's got 2 guns, and you don't go for it. You don't go for it. The judge says they should have gone for it the same day. Kevin Hutchinson Foster can't run away. You know why? He's on parole. He's living in a bloody bell hostel behind Stoke Newington police station. Right? They don't send out the photographs of him. Why not? Come on, man. Anyone who comes from our community.
The officer forgot to press the same button on the
Well, that's his excuse now.
That's what he said.
He came into court.
The officer forgot to press. He was circulating the details of Kevin Hutchinson Foster, his everything, and he forgot to send the press button that would have circulated it around to the police service. Yes.
So that's his excuse, right? What really happens is he comes to court. He says, I did it on the 19th of August. We still think that was too late because we still believe that Kevin Hutchinson Foster, if they'd wanted him, could have and should have been arrested before the 4th of August. Meaning, you wouldn't even know Mark Duggan's name today. Right? But they chose not to. We say they didn't want this guy. So on the 3rd of August, they don't arrest him. He's in a Bell hostel. They know who his probation officer is. They can phone the probation officer and get any detail they want. They can set him up to come so that they can arrest him. But like I said, he's not even on the run. They can't say hid because he was at Mark Duggan's funeral. And guess what? They pictured him there and they knew he was there. They only arrest him on the 28th of October because my great friends, the IPCC, have got the gun, have done the forensics, and the forensics come back saying Kevin Hutchinson Foster. The police's hand was forced. They had to arrest him. And guess what? When they put him in prison, they put him in solitary like an American prison in there. Solitary, so no man can't talk to him, no man can't hear what's going on, no man can't hear what's happening. So that's our story, people. Again, the jury was told that an all-point bulletin was sent out, that Hackney Police did all they could. Unfortunately for the copper, he gave the photographs to our friends in the IPCC. When they looked on the photographs, date and time stamped. They went to collect the photographs on the 11th of November. Guess what date and time is on the photographs? The 11th of November. He now says, oops, I did everything I was supposed to do and forgot to press the send button. But we say it doesn't matter. You lied to the jury because you told the jury you sent the pictures and photographs out. We say, right, we say that not just that officer but his supervising officer, for some reason, does not want Kevin Hutchinson Foster caught. And it carries on into the scene at Vicarage Road where they see him hand Mark Duggan a box. And they don't want to acknowledge it. They let him get away till they kill Mark, and the IPCC forces them to arrest this guy. Now I want to know, because you're all still in the seats, I want to know how you feel, so I'm going to let go of the mic and pass it around to you. I want to hear how you feel, and I want to know if you're going to come to this meeting, hear these words, hear this story, know And you know what? I'm going to tell you something I don't even know if I'm allowed to tell you. Right? Pam Duggan's not here today. Right? Pam's not here today because Pam's in recovery. Am I allowed to say it? Alright, Pam's in recovery. She's had the 3rd operation on her poor body, the 3rd operation for cancer since her son was killed on the 4th of August, right? So she's not here today. And we're not here to play. We don't know how much time we've got. We don't know how much time anyone's got. We need to pursue this right to the end. So I want to hear from you all. If you're as angry as we are, because man's angry. Man could bomb down this place here. Do you know that? Man's angry, man. We have enough problems in our community without the police manufacturing, creating and killing, ultimately executing. So I want to hear from you all, if you're angry enough to properly stand with us whilst we go to take on the might of the state. If you're angry enough to help us, to force these people into such a corner that eventually they're going to have to reveal themselves. And if you're angry enough to stand with us, to demand a full, open and transparent judicial-led public inquiry into the relationship between Kevin Hutchinson Foster and Chiden, because we believe that relationship led to the execution of at least one person and probably the entrapment of many others. Thank you for listening. Now it's all your people's problem.